Hi there, my name is Maria Oreska and I'm responsible for product development at Infinity. In this Tech Tuesday video, I want to explain to you what form specific is and how you can use dimension nodes. Form specific is one of 4 Infinity Forms front-end extensions that are included in Infinity Forms. So if you go to the panel on the left side, to the custom object sections under Infinity Bundle, you can find here 4 different forms front-end extensions. Forms command object allows you to discuss data with your colleagues, send comments and notes to them, reply, and things like that. Forms general is the editable table. Forms single record is the classic form one would imagine when you would use the word form. So if you have one particular customer and you need to fill the data about it or order form, so that's form single record. And the last one is form specific. Originally, we have developed form specific for the advanced developers, for programmers who want to create their own editable front-end extension without developing the backend. So you can develop your own editable front-end extension and connect it to already existing Infinity Forms backend that's responsible for communicating between the front-end extension and the data storage, user authentication, permissions management, and all the complex things we have already done in past few years. As an example, we have developed one form specific that's called dimension nodes that's available for you to explore the code. However, in the meantime, we realized that dimension nodes itself can bring an interesting added value to multiple use cases across organization. I'm currently in HR demo application where I can select one specific employee. And here you see multiple different form types. So these two are editable tables, form general. This one is single form. And the last one here is this form specific, specifically dimension nodes. So as you see, it can be used to enter a bit structured, unstructured nodes, longer comments, text. You can use formatting, lists, as well as hyperlinks to add some additional information that might be useful. It's linked to a specific employee, to a specific selection I make for a key field. So let me show you how easily you can create one. In this retail application, I have a simple sheet with some visualizations. And as a user, I most often analyze the combination of category. Let's say I select children, and churn reason distribution, like too much campaigns. And now I want to share some thoughts, some notes with my colleagues about the combination of those two selections. I'll drag and drop form specific here on the sheet. In data section, I define dimension. So as I mentioned, it's category name short and churn reason distribution. Sorry, churn reason. Yeah, it's always good to check the real definition in the properties panel. So churn reason it is. When I select the combination of the category name and churn reason distribution, I see my form specific is enabled for me right now to save my notes. I can play with its size, so it makes the most sense for my use case. When I hit the save button, my notes is saved in a data storage with the key that's created as the combination of category name short and churn reason. So when my colleague comes here, select category children and churn reason distribution too expensive, he or she doesn't see my comment because my comment is relevant for this particular combination. So let me go through the rest of the properties panel so you know all the options you have here. So data defines the unique identifier for my nodes. If multiple dimensions are used, a combined key will be created. Add-ons is the click native section. Appearance, the same. So you can enter some title, subtitle, footnote. Alternate states are respected. And in the form configuration section, you select form type. This is the dimension nodes I mentioned. Please do ignore dimension nodes legacy. It's here for historical reasons, but it's not supposed to be used for new implementation. So dimension nodes it is. And here you can see all the other custom form specific you have developed. Default instance means the data storage where my comment is stored. When I uncheck it, I can define my form instance ID. We don't need to go to details about it, but there is another TechTuesday video that's called Form Instance ID, I suppose. And you can also find more information about it in the documentation. So in the section about, there is a link to documentation, and under administrator section, on-prem forms administration, there is Forms admin app and the form configuration that explains how the data storage is managed. So form instance ID is a unique identifier of a data storage. Under the advanced settings, I see an important thing if you use multiple dimensions, and that's key field separator. By default, it's those two pipes, but if you want to use some other string or symbol, this is the place where you define it. And then I can manage whether or not I want to show metadata to users and whether or not I want to allow users to do the formatting. So that's technically it, pretty easy, right? One tip, okay, two tips. The first one is that when you want to use these dimension nodes as nodes just for yourself or just for a particular user, you can use the click native option, the click native function, OS user, as part of the key. It returns the unique identifier of a user. Tip number 2 is linked to multiple comments on multiple combinations of selections. So if you want to see something like an overview of your comments, it's quite easy to create it for your users. Since your nodes are stored in a data storage, that can be XML file or QVD or database, you can load it back to a data model as any other data in your click. And once you have it in a data model, alongside with information who saved the nodes and when it was, you can create something like this overview. So when I want to see deviations from my process in a click native table, I see the overview of nodes that have been entered via form specific. From my experience, this dimension nodes is very often used for accounting closure, like when you select specific month, specific year, and you need to save somewhere information about intercompanies, about manual corrections, about, I don't know, any agreements that needed to be done. This is a great place where you want to store data like this. You don't need to create a separate document, save it somewhere on the server, or have it in your emails. Form specific, specifically dimension nodes, allows you to have all the data, including the unstructured data, where the rest of your data is. I really hope you find it useful and you'll use it in your applications. And until the next TechTuesday video, enjoy forms.